Screw you! You're bossing my brother around! Who the hell do you think you are? What? I went all the way to your house to hang out with him. But why is my brother the one making dinner? You're the one who should be cooking. You are his wife, you know. Well, he's in charge of the housework in our house. James is a very good cook. He says he can spare some time to take care of the chores because he works remotely from home. Huh? Just because he works from home, it doesn't mean he has free time. He's still working, whether it's at home or in the office. It's rather hard for him to switch on and off when working from home. You should take care of the house. I know, but I have a long commute. It would be more efficient if James did the housework. In exchange, I pay for all the food and living expenses. I got excited about today hearing you were coming over and bought expensive meat. The Wagyu steaks were delicious, weren't they? Huh? Don't get cocky just because you're paying the living expenses. My brother was so kind to marry an old hag like you. It's only natural for you to pay for all the living expenses at least. What? And it's only natural for you to prepare fancy meals upon my arrival. I'm your husband's sister. It's your duty to treat me with respect. Michelle? Did you just call me an old hag? What's wrong with calling an old hag an old hag? You're 6 years older than my brother. My brother was generous enough to marry an old lady like you. Don't get carried away and support him as his wife. You should pay for everything and take care of the house too. What? Pay for everything and do all the chores too? And yet, you treat him like a slave in front of me. Today, you didn't even help him a bit with the barbecue, did you? And all you did was eat with a smile on your face. Don't tell me you're always like this. Well, it's always like this actually. He wants me to eat the freshly cooked dishes, so I always sit down and eat first. Are you kidding me? I'm going to check on you every day from now on. I'm keeping an eye on you so that you don't make him work any harder. What? Keep an eye on me? I'm coming over for dinner every day from now on. I'm not gonna let my brother cook anymore. You will be doing all the cooking. And you shall stand in the kitchen and wait until we're done eating. I'll show you how you should act as his wife. I come home after 8 p.m. at the earliest, no matter how hard I try. You want me to cook dinner from there? Then, just work harder and come home at 5 p.m. If you're a wife, you should put your family first, not your work. Oh no. I'll be here straight after my college classes are over. Besides cooking, I'll also check on your cleaning and laundry. I'll make sure if you really are worthy of being my brother's wife. I don't want any more excuses. James, I need you to talk to Michelle about this. I can't have her come to our house every day. Michelle eats a surprisingly large meal, so it costs a lot of money for food. And most of all, she keeps texting me to come home early from work. I'm sorry, Cindy. I told her not to meddle in our marriage, but she won't listen to me, saying, "It's for my brother's sake. Don't spoil your wife." I knew she had an excessive attachment to you, but I never thought she'd be like this even after we got married. I thought that, since she accepted me as your wife, she was positive towards our marriage. It seems she really hadn't approved our marriage at all.
She told me it's not too late to marry someone else.
What?
She doesn't seem to like the fact that I'm in charge of the housework. She thinks that you married me because you wanted me to be your housekeeper.
That's not true at all. I was rather thinking it would be better if we just hired a housekeeper. It must be hard for you to balance work and house chores.
It's not hard at all. I only make a small amount of money, and plus, I have a lot of free time. I can't let you pay more to hire a housekeeper.
Oh.
I went freelance after we got married, but there wasn't as much work as expected. I never thought my income would drop this much. So I want to at least do the housework. Please, don't take away my role to take care of the house.
You were still concerned about your income? I told you, you don't have to feel bad about it at all.
I can't just be ignorant of it. I'm younger than you, and also my income has gone down too. I'm really sorry for being an unreliable husband. And it's because of me that Michelle misunderstands you in many ways.
I want to get along with Michelle too, but I don't know how. I guess I have to act like a wife after all. No matter how hard I try, I don't think I can do the housework as well as you.
You don't have to do that. Just tell her the truth. Michelle doesn't even know about my income. That I'm a low-income freelancer. I'll explain that you are the mainstay of our family. And also about her college tuition fees.
You're going to tell her about the tuition fees too?
That's the most important thing to talk about. Our parents passed away early. I'm her older brother, so I should be paying Michelle's tuition. But her brother failed to run his own business. So instead, you have been paying for her tuition fees.
You shouldn't do so. I told you to keep it a secret.
Why are you so eager to keep it a secret? I'm sure Michelle will change her thoughts about you once she knows the truth about her tuition fees. I think it's time she understands where she stands.
I'm not paying it to gain her favor. I just don't want her to go through a hard time like I did. Like you and Michelle, I lost my parents early too. I went to school with no scholarships and no financial support, so I've had a hard time. There are some hardships that it's better not to know about. I'm paying for this just because I want to.
But
I want to be equal with Michelle. We are family now, even if we are sister-in-laws. When a big amount of money is involved, she'll be too reserved and we won't be able to get along with each other. I want to become like real sisters. So, let's pretend that you are still paying for her tuition fees.
Are you sure you're okay with that? Still, I feel bad about all this.
If you feel bad, then please convince Michelle. No matter how hard I try, I won't be able to get back early from work. And I can't cook food tasty enough to satisfy Michelle. It would be helpful if you could get her to agree to let you take care of the housework.
Okay, I'll do my best. And I'll work hard at my job as well as housework. I'll do more business and get more jobs. And one day, I'll earn enough money to pay for my sister's tuition.
I'm counting on you, but don't work too hard. You deserve this. I just filed the divorce papers for you and my brother. Now, my brother will finally be free from you. I won't let you force my brother to do your housework anymore.
What? Divorce papers? Wait, Michelle. What the hell do you mean by that?
It's your fault. How dare you change the locks? Now I can't get into your house.
Your brother changed the locks on his own. But that's because you kept coming back to our place every day, no matter how many times we told you not to. It's not like I told him to change the locks, though.
Don't lie to me. I'm sure you gave orders to my brother. You ordered him not to let his annoying sister in the house, didn't you? Because you can't treat him like a housekeeper when I'm around.
That's not true.
He's the best man in the whole wide world, being kind and skilled at housework. He even has the talent to quit a big company and become a freelancer. I won't let an old hag like you take advantage of him and become his parasite. Let him go. I filed the divorce papers as a last resort.
What do you mean by parasite? I'm not depending on him for everything. We're more like compensating for each other's deficiencies.
Huh? Are you serious? You're a parasite feeding on my brother's youth and housekeeping skills.
I beg your pardon?
My brother could have married a better woman, but he can't because you're his parasite. My brother is kind. He couldn't leave you even if he wanted to. But now that I filed the divorce papers, all's good. He can finally get away from you, his parasite.
It's getting even more difficult to get through to you. I can't believe you've gone off the rails like this with your selfish assumptions and prejudices.
Shut up, old hag. You are no longer qualified to call yourself my brother's wife. You parasitic sister-in-law, get the hell out of our lives.
Actually, your brother's the parasite.
Huh?
Even I, who has a big heart, would be pissed off if you filed the divorce papers without permission. I have no choice but to tell you everything.
What do you mean, everything? I mean, don't treat my brother like a parasite.
But our lives are based on my earnings. In other words, he's my parasite.
What?
Certainly, James could have married a more attractive woman. A younger and prettier girl than me, of course. But currently, he can't live without me. So, even if he wanted to marry another woman, he couldn't. I don't know what to call this situation without calling him a parasite.
Wait a minute. What do you mean my brother is living on your earnings? He's a successful freelancer. He started his own company. He's probably making more than double what he used to.
Actually, the freelance business isn't going so well. He makes less than half of what he used to make. Your brother is dependent on me.
What? My brother is dependent on you?
Yeah, that's right. But he's having a hard time getting work. He's trying, but he's too kind, you know. So, they negotiate the lowest possible price for his job. And it doesn't lead to another job, so they treat him as a convenient worker. I don't see any increase in his income at all.
Oh.
So, he can't live without me. I'm the one paying all the living expenses, including all the tax stuff. And sometimes, I even help him with his deficits.
But my brother is paying my tuition fees. He said since we don't have parents, he'd take the place as my parent. He's been paying my tuition fees for a long time. How is it possible that my brother has such a low income?
You're right. I can't pay for my sister's tuition when my income is so low. That's why Cindy helped me with that too. She paid for all your college tuition fees.
What? Is this James?
And yet, how dare you? Have I ever asked you to file our divorce papers? Did I ask you to free me from her? Why would you do such a selfish thing without even asking me?
I did it all for your sake. You're like a slave to her. Housework is supposed to be done by the wife, but she makes you do it all. I thought you were suffering because of her.
Who decided that housework should be done by the wife? Why are you so hard-headed?
Hey, is it true that you're not paying my tuition? Did Cindy really pay for it?
Yeah, it's true. Because I failed in my own business. She took pity on you and paid for all your tuition.
Oh no!
And she even suggested that I pretend to pay for it, just to make you feel better. She's a very humble and kind-hearted woman. I was lucky to marry someone like her. But you ruined everything. How are you going to take responsibility for this?
I don't know how. I didn't think it would come to this.
Then, instead of taking responsibility, don't ever show your face in front of us again. I never want to see your face.
What?
I'll pay for all your tuition from now on. I'll pay for it, no matter what it takes, even if it means going into debt. I think that's the least I can do as your brother. But other than that, I'm not going to have anything to do with you anymore.
Wait a minute. Don't talk to me like you're cutting ties with me.
I am cutting ties with you. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
What?
And don't you ever go near her again. Goodbye.
What shall I do, Cindy? I haven't been able to contact my brother at all since then. Maybe he really did cut me off.
He told you so clearly, but you still don't get it? James cut ties with you, Michelle. He deleted your contact information right after that.
Really?
I've already paid the tuition for this semester, so don't worry. James said he'll transfer the rest to your account. Michelle, you just need to continue to earn your living expenses, just like you've always done. Please do your best to graduate from college.
I can't do it under these circumstances.
Stop whining. You're the one who made James so angry. You can't rely on your brother anymore, but do your best on your own.
I'm telling you, I can't do it. I can't do my best without him. How will I live without money? That's why I went to your place to eat dinner every day. It was to save my food expenses.
What? You were working part-time, right? I thought you were able to manage your own living expenses by yourself.
I used to be able to, but I can't anymore. All the money from my part-time job goes to pay off my debts. And I have to borrow money again because I don't have enough to live on. I'm stuck in a negative loop.
What did you say? Michelle, you're in debt.
That's right. I had so much fun in college that I used too much money. I went drinking, traveling, hanging out with friends. I got into revolving payments.
What? By the way, how much debt do you have?
$15,000.
Oh my God.
It's because my brother never told me. He didn't tell me that revolving repayment was so hard. I read on the internet that revolving repayment is easy. Since he paid for my tuition fees, I couldn't ask him to give me money to have fun. So, I thought a little bit of revolving repayment would be okay, and I took the plunge.
But $15,000? Just by hanging out with friends added up to be this much?
Yes, I like food, so I also went out to eat often. By the time I realized it was like that,
You have to be kidding me.
I knew I had to talk to my brother about it soon. But I thought if you interfered, he wouldn't help me. That's why I thought it would be better to get you divorced. I thought I could free my brother, and then I could go talk to him about it. I didn't think I'd have to cut ties with him.
I'm too stunned to say anything.
Please, Cindy. Let me talk to my brother, even if it's just for a minute. I'll do my best to pay off my debts on my own. But it's really hard for me to cut relations with my brother. I can't do my best without his support.
If you can't, that's the end of it. It's none of my business, is what he says.
What?
That's what he's saying right next to me.
That can't be true. He always has a soft spot for me and has always been kind to me.
But as a result of his kindness, you filed for his divorce without permission. He's been doing his best for his only sister, but this incident has made him think about a lot of things. He says, people become stronger when they suffer, and I spoiled you too much.
Oh no!
Well then, good luck with paying off your debt. And of course, graduate from your college. It's fun to hang out, but study as much as you have fun. Otherwise, you might not be able to get married by 35.
What?
Good luck with not becoming someone else's parasite. I'll be watching from afar. I found out afterwards that the divorce papers were not accepted. As a rule, they don't accept documents submitted by anyone other than the husband or wife themselves. But James has no intention of forgiving his sister Michelle. He will not support her at all from now on, except for her tuition fees. In addition to the daytime part-time job, Michelle started working at a bar during the night to pay off her debts. I hear that she's working hard to pay off her debts and study hard so that her beloved brother won't hate her any more than he already does. But it's scary when a kind person gets really angry. James says, I'll never forgive her no matter what. She did something that awful.